we interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
All of your internet belong to us now.
Clam stamp your mom.
And we are on the air, or
welcome
the internet.
To Destiny Unfiltered dating game. These are your 4 bachelors, except most of them are not bachelors. Anyway, we're going to try and pawn off one of these 4 guys tonight. Not telling you which one's a jackass, but it might be the one without any hair.
Really? So, you want me to tell a story?
Yeah, go for it.
So,
Tonight, our guest is Kevin from the internet. And his name is Kevin, and we believe he's from the internet, but we're still trying to validate that point.
So,
from the internet.
I do.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I do actually have a story for the start of this, because this will lead into him being here. All right. So, a few months ago, when Josh and Molly came on board, Josh kind of spoke up and said, "Hey, I'll do, behind the scenes bookings and everything." And then he got busy because of a new job, so he was the guy who was handling all the booking. And I am horrible, absolutely horrible about trying to contact people, knowing who people are. Like I hear names in passing all the time, but I just never find time to go meet and find new people on the internet and stalk them down enough to get them to come on the show. And so I put out one of these tweets that I go, "Hey, if you guys know anybody that you would like to see come on the show, somebody who's in your community that doesn't get enough praise for like what they contribute and what they do," and I mean instantly I put that out, and I got blasted back with Kevin from the internet. And I'm like, who the fuck is Kevin from the internet? I've never heard of this guy. What the fuck is going on?
Surprise.
Right? I'm just like, wow. And I mean, it wasn't like 2 or 3 people hit me back. It was like 25. Just in the inbox. It's like, okay, so I go to check him out. He puts no details about himself on the internet. So I hit him up. I'm like,
it's a secret. He's just from the internet.
Yeah, so here's the end of the story and the question that I have. Why did everybody hit me up? Like, what is it that you do that people are like, you gotta talk to this guy? Because I'm going, who the fuck is Kevin from the internet?
The only person that I'm aware of that said, hey, you should talk to Kevin was Adam from Bungie.
Okay, let's be clear. Let's be clear. DMs are a bitch when they're open.
I don't know anything about DMs, but I know that the public one, which was Adam Pino, saying, "Hey, you should talk to Kevin."
Okay.
And I think I've known Adam for a little bit. Got introduced to him through some other friends. Play with him every now and then, and recently his son also plays Destiny, and so and not too long ago he's like, "Hey, my son wants to do Vault of Glass. Who's around to help?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm around." And so small group of us just helping Adam's son finish out some Destiny content that he wasn't able to do on his own, and he's young enough they didn't want him out there doing stuff on LFG or something like that. So I guess that's why he's saying, "Hey, Kevin's a nice guy."
Gotcha.
I try to.
You guys have that memorized like the back of your hand. You go through. By the way, we're blindfolded tonight. We're going to be running this young gentleman through Volta class.
Jesus Christ.
Kevin, what would you say you'd be best known for? What you think?
I'm pretty good at the tire game.
I did see that in your profile that you do have a title for that.
I do the tire game a lot. There was a point at which I was doing tire game carries. People would join up in my game, and I'd go do the tire game and get them the.
Is there a
no
triumph
pressure
for that?
Yeah, it's a no pressure triumph under the moon destination that you either have to do it yourself or you have to watch somebody else do it. You don't even have to be in the fire team. You just have to be standing there and watch somebody else do it. So
we're loading in the moon right now.
You gone flawless?
Have I gone flawless?
Is it flawless in the tire game?
Yeah, you have to get all 3 tires to be in the center hole.
Nice. That's impressive, actually, because that's a tough game to play.
Why am I
fall off the side?
Why am I really confused as to what this is?
You don't know what the tire game is?
No.
Oh my God.
So Ryan doesn't Ryan doesn't explore the map. He just goes in. If they say go over here and shoot something, he does it, and he goes on.
So when you go to the moon, there's a little computer terminal that you can interact with. You put in 1,000 glimmer or something like that, and out rolls a tire. And then there's a little ramp that you push it down to, where there's like 5 or 6 little holes out there, and you push the tire down the ramp. And you want to get the tire to land in the center hole all 3 times. And if you get it to land in there and stay in there, it can't bounce out or roll out. If it stays in there, or if you watch somebody else do it, you get the no pressure triumph.
Now, wasn't there, because there's 5 divots in there. There's 5 craters. Couldn't you roll out a total of 5 tires, get one in each one, or is it only 3?
It's only 3 tires.
Okay. It's pretty impressive because that's one of the things I tried it a few times is like that's never gonna happen. I was being a realist and I left.
Yeah, one day I just decided I was going to try a different method of doing it, and all of a sudden I was able to do it pretty consistently. Like I was getting 2 out of the 3, like 90% of the time, and getting the perfect tire game, like once.
And the best thing about it is it's not chance either. You do have to grab the tire and push it down the little ramp. It's not you're just releasing it and it goes.
Is it actually like physics based or?
Yes.
It's okay. So you actually have to know what you're doing. Oh, Josh, I see you having to show me this sometime.
Yes.
I'm actually.
You still go and do it, Kevin? You still go and do that?
You can try it out sometime.
Kevin, you still go and do that? Do you use that to go there to relax like that?
Say that again.
It's like skee ball. Do you go there just to? Is it
go
just
there
something you do just to chill out?
Yeah.
Roll a few tires.
Sometimes it's just like waiting for if I'm going to be doing a raid with my clan or something like that, got some time to kill, go do a couple tire games. It's always fun sometimes because if there's, like I said, if there's other people that are in that landing zone, like maybe they're up there talking to Eris, getting bounties or something like that, and then I do it and they don't have the triumph, it pops up on their screen, and so sometimes they come running on over to where I am and start doing emotes and stuff, so it's pretty fun.
You ever just get random messages like, dude, that was amazing?
I don't get, I have my text messages disabled.
Oh, you got it. So you really, that is one thing that, now I know that there's a lot of people who put out just nasty hate mail. I mean, that they're just poisonous people in the world. You can't help it. But like, if I'm playing a game of Gambit, and I like to play a lot of Gambit, and somebody comes over and just destroys our team, I will send a dude. That was amazing. Respect. I'll actually send a nice, like a congratulatory.
Yeah, but you're weird.
Man, I play a lot of freaking yeah. But I mean, the minute somebody engages you to send a message, it pops up. Hey, someone has, opened up a message, and they're expecting that hate mail. They already got their defenses up. They're ready for it, and then you send a dude. That was awesome, man. Props. That was a good invasion. I've had so many people like, I was not expecting that.
Yep, I bet.
So, okay.
I've gotten one bit of hate mail in my Destiny career, and that was from some guy that was upset because I was using Shards of Galanor during a Mayhem match.
What he's not telling you is that was from his son.
For Mayhem, you have to. That's where you get the most value out of it. Mm-hmm. They're garbage anywhere else.
Yep.
So.
Imagine getting upset over Mayhem.
I know, man. That's like getting upset. Dude, that gun takes no skill when you're playing Scorched.
So Kevin,
same gun, dude.
Kevin, what else would you like the Destiny universe to know about you?
I'm just somebody who likes playing video games, I guess.
He turns off his DMs and his private messages so you can't get a hold of him.
We have a lot in common, Kevin. We have a lot in common.
Kevin, what other game? First off, what platform do you play on?
Right now I play on PC. So I'll tell you the story of how I got into Destiny. I tried it in Destiny 1, and I didn't like it. I have less than 20 hours in Destiny 1. Mm-hmm. But I have close to 8,000 hours in Destiny 2.
Nice.
So, certainly a game that I
love Ryan's face, right? The picture on Ryan's face, right when you said 8,000 hours in Destiny 2. Go ahead.
Well, I don't even know that Destiny 2's been out for 8,000 hours yet.
It has. What does that 8,000 mostly consist of?
Sitting in orbit and doing targeting carries. No, I don't know.
Yes, sitting in orbit. I've got a ton of those.
No lies detected.
No, it's probably mostly doing raids and things like that. That's the one thing I think that once I started doing that in Destiny 2, that's really what drew me into the game and got me playing it constantly.
So your first raid, was it with an established team or like an LFG, everyone was thrown together group?
Oh, it was definitely an LFG team, and I'd never... This was Leviathan during year 1. I'd never done it before, and... Okay, it's not 8,000 hours, it's 5,200 hours.
Hey, it's close.
Hey, we're all good, it's fine.
Yeah. But anyways...
Only off by a year.
Somebody was out there fact-checking.
So I joined this group, and I tell the guy, I'm like, I've never done this before, and they're leading us up the thing, and the first encounter that week was Gauntlet. He's like, all right, Kevin, you're gonna get up there and shoot the things, but you're gonna shoot the opposite of what people call out and stuff like that. And I just kept messing it up over and over and over, and then everyone just left. So my first raid experience, I made everybody leave.
Oh man, I wish you were with one of the teams I was on.
Back in the day, we must have Galahorn.
Yeah, at least it wasn't any of that sort of gatekeeping stuff. But yeah, the first one didn't go great, but yeah, it was still a neat experience that I wanted to try it again, and later found a LFG group that was like, hey, we're teaching Leviathan, join on out. And so that was the start of learning how the encounters work, and it was maybe a little bit after that I got my first clear, and then not too long after that, once I started being able to do it well enough, that I would just start looking for players I looked for LFG posts where players were stuck on the Callus encounter. People saying Callus encounter, need one. Obviously, they were having some problems there where somebody decided to dip out for whatever reason. Either they were there too long or somebody was just like, you guys don't know what to do, I'm going to leave. So I would just jump in there and see if I could figure out what people were struggling with and how I could help. And
pretty soon you became the young son hero. You drop in, help him finish it, and like, dude, you're awesome. Gotta go by. Click. You're out.
I think half the problem back then was everybody had a different name for the symbols. Like, we're going for the spatulas. We're going for the gonna go for the cups.
Yeah.
That's the thing. We're going for the dog. We're gonna go for the everybody had a different name for it. It was crazy.
The cup or the chalice, the axes or the blades.
Yeah.
So can we jump back and ask a question though, because we kind of glossed over it.
Sure.
You said you jumped into D1 and only played about 20 hours and didn't like it, and then you've got some stupid amount of hours in D2. What is the difference? What made you go, oh shit, I like D2, but I hated D1? What's the difference in the game that you found?
I think it was where I was coming from at the time. So, my wife, who's sitting over here next to me playing Skyrim for like the 20th time. Nice. She's the one that got me really into playing video games, and so years ago, like
all of a sudden a pot or a pan or something just comes flying from off screen, hits him in the
head. We had a PlayStation 3, and we used to play games that were couch co-op, and so we'd been playing like Call of Duty games and things like that, and then started playing Borderlands 2 together. And since that was a split screen game, and absolutely loved that game. We played that game for like 2 straight years. That was the only game that we played. And then after we had sort of exhausted that, I was looking for something new to play. And this is now fall 2014. Destiny is out. PlayStation 4 is now out. There's a lot of games that are more available, so I go get us the white PlayStation 4 that came with Destiny and tried it out, and because I was looking for that next Borderlands type game. I wanted another looter shooter kind of game, but it just wasn't it at the time. I was so many times just bored to tears, and now thinking back on it, I think it's more of that we came from playing a game that we were playing together. And when I started Destiny, and it was just a single player, but play online with other people, I didn't know anybody else that was playing it. So I didn't have anybody else that I could jump in and do strikes or nightfalls or anything else with. And so pretty quickly I just sort of got bored of the game and moved on to playing other things. But then that summer of 2017, I was looking for another game to play after I had been playing Overwatch, and I played the beta. I thought, well, yeah, this is pretty fun. Pre-order it for when it comes out on launch day, and I think I've only played maybe 3 other games besides Destiny.
I can see like
there's other games.
I can see you fire up Destiny 1 is like, I can't mantle, throw the controller, I'm done.
Well, I was just
Destiny 2. Oh look, I can pull myself up on a ledge.
I was going to ask you.
I'll give it another chance.
Have you gone back and tried any of the D1 content since D2? Have you tried that? Or have you just been like, screw it?
It was the summer before Shadowkeep came out that I went back and played through all the rest of the campaign stuff. And my wife had actually even gone back and played through all that stuff even before I had. But yeah, I went and played through it. Had a friend in my clan that was max level Gallahorn and every exotic weapon imaginable, and he helped me through some of the stuff just because we were looking for something to do that summer because we didn't, at that point, didn't really have much else left for us to do.
What I'm hearing is we should be interviewing his wife.
Yeah.
Did you?
My wife is much more of a gamer than I am.
That's
Really?
So, did you ever try SRL racing?
Nope.
No.
It wasn't during the time that I was playing. It wasn't a thing.
But it's there now. I mean, you can always go back and fire it up.
I guess so, maybe.
Yeah, but then you have to find 5 other fuckers that'll do it with you,
Right.
and
Hey, no,
There you go.
private match.
I-
Match.
that's
Go in
what
and race around the track.
yeah, by yourself, because that's
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
Again, finding 5 people.
Hey, you can always win when you're by yourself.
I don't know if that stupid forklift is there, you may not. So I've never played a private. I don't even know if it's still there or not.
I think that's more infamous than raid bosses.
Man, you can play private matches solo of Gambit. Now, how silly is that?
There you go. There you go. It's like playing ping pong by yourself.
Like, dude, find some friends. No. I'm gonna Gambit alone.
Alright, so you get back you get back to D2 in your 5,000 hours in. In 4 years, what in the hell? That's 1,000 hours a year plus. What in the hell are you doing with all that time in the game? Like, there's got to be something that is your hook.
Just trying out different weapons, grinding for the roles of things that I really like, helping people with other content that they're doing.
Okay, quick question. I'm gonna drop in here. You have acquired last year perfect roll on XYZ gun. You love this gun. This was the roll of all rolls. Bungie changes sandbox, changes the perks around. Now your roll of all rolls is you know, it's shooting, you know, rubber bullets. You know, do you continue to? You still have the ability to go after that gun. Do you look for, in your spare time, you know, new rolls on that gun, or do you just look? All right, well, new guns are out. I'm gonna go after these guns. I don't want to replace this old gun that I loved, but you know, now there could be a different perk pool on it. I'll just go after what's new. I mean, how do you? What do you do? What is your, you know, carrot that you're chasing?
Right. Obviously, I have a lot of time to play this game. So, but my usual strategy is find the good enough role. That, you know,
Jack of all trades.
Yeah, I want to have fun while I'm playing. If the activity that I'm trying to grind for something just isn't that enjoyable, then I'm gonna do the good enough role. And then if the content is more fun and I enjoy it, then maybe I'm gonna continue going for the role that I really want. I think back to when the sunsetting happened, and like there was they sunset the gnawing hunger that I had and then reintroduced gnawing hunger again like a season later, saying, well, here you go, you can have it again and you have to go get it. And it's just like, well, I'll just see what's gonna show up. I'm not gonna try too hard. If I get a good roll of it that drops somewhere, great, but they're always introducing new things too. You can't just keep using the same thing. Part of how I can play this game for 5,000 hours is that I don't just use the same thing over and over and over.
Now, I think one of the fun things about that, or one of the nice things about it was, first time Gnawing Hunger was out, I'm going to grind for the perfect roll. Let's go into the reckoning. Ugh! You know, and you fight through that and you fight through it enough to where you get that perfect roll. Yeah. And then, once you got that perfect roll, then they go and sunset it. And, I just got flashed. Anyway, my wife's on the other side. she ran up to the door to distract me. Anyway,
Hi, wife.
so she just ran because she knew it might grab the camera. So then you get it back, and now they've reintroduced it, but it can drop from anywhere, which is, in my opinion, is nice. I don't have to go into, 1,000 hours of astral projection or astral alignment to get XYZ gun. I can get it from anywhere, and that's, at least they did that. Hey, we're gonna give you back something you already had. You're gonna have to go find the role that you want. Hey, you can get it from anywhere though.
Crazy thing about Gnawing Hunger, though, is when it came back out, that's when 600s, they were doing crazy things in Crucible. And I mean, you could almost have any role of a Gnawing Hunger and still rule the roost. Like that, I mean, it was just a benefit to get some of those great perks, but that gun was stupid when it came back out.
That season between Gnawing Hunger and the Summoner that I had were just two of the best weapons I had that season.
The
Never had a Summoner. Never had it.
Summoner, the D1 version.
Because you don't have 5,000 hours in the game.
Or we just called that the butter rifle because, it was like a brick of butter,
I get you. All right, so I got a question for you, Kevin. All right, so is there one weapon that you have, you'll see it all the time, where you'll have somebody that's got like 10, 20, 30,000 kills on one particular role? Do you have that?
No, I don't. I don't even know which of my...
You don't turn on your kill trackers on any of them?
Well, I do, but I don't keep track of it often enough that... Because I just like playing with different things. If I just use the same weapon all the time, I get bored with it. So it's...
What?
I have 3 characters to play. Each of those characters have 4 classes that I can play, and all their subclasses.
All right, favorite...
I like playing Destiny, but I
You're the jack of all trades.
Favorite character.
What was the fusion? Hold on. What was the fusion rifle that OMG it's Omar was using that had the insane amount of kills? That everyone hated that fusion rifle.
Erentil, wasn't it?
Erentil, that was it. And that dude had like in the hundred of thousands of kills in Crucible with that gun. So anyway, all right, go ahead.
Favorite character.
I have more hours on my Warlock than the other two. The Hunter comes second, and then the Titan is third.
Titan's third? Oh boy.
But trying to play a little more time on those others to bring them up.
See, I find that, if I were to kind of listen to anyone's, if they picked Warlock or Titan, I figured they would go for just the opposite first, because they both have that same jump style. It's a glide of some sort. It's either a lift with the Warlock, it's a boost with the Titan, but with the Hunter, it's just a straight up normal jump. It's a bounce. So I would usually, if I heard someone say Warlock or Titan, I would hear them say the opposite first. So it's kind of surprising you go for Hunter second.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Titan jump, actually.
What is it about the Titan as opposed to the Warlock that you don't like on that jump? What's the difference?
I don't know, maybe the direction control.
So
Practice, I'll help with it.
I don't like the supers as much. I don't know, there's something about the Warlock that I just liked playing a little more.
Really?
Once I learned how to do that jump, I remember when Destiny 2 started, my wife and I struggling to learn how to do the Warlock jump. Like, we didn't know how to do the double jump part of it.
I never deleted a character so fast in all my life than after trying Warlock out. And when you Titan, you jump, and then you engage it, and it just goes forward at the minute you engage it. Or up, one of the two. This is a normal jump. Hunter, you jump, you let it arc, you jump again, you let it arc. Warlock, if you don't immediately engage that boost, you jump, and after the arc, if you engage it then, it goes down quick. And it's like my first question, and my son is sitting here dying laughing because I'm like, who wants to jet down? Who wants to get down quicker? You're jumping. What is
there's a fine art to the Warlock. I mean, because it's so, I guess the word is parabolic, but I mean, based on when you hit the second part of that jump, you can
it'll go like
you can
straight.
make it. Yeah, you can make it. You can manipulate it a lot like a Titan. But I mean, it's
It flattens
but
out if you let it get past a certain. But I mean, if it's right at the beginning of the arc on the way down, you'll rock it down. And then
if I ever play
mantle will
Warlock
stagger
right
off.
after my Titan, then I am no good because I'm like that Warlock is doing that. It's going straight off the cliff.
So the answer to Josh's question though is skinny people are the ones that want to get down faster.
Sure.
Us fat guys, we fall fast. So, but skinny people want down quick.
Do you ever use the what is it? The warp glide or the warp jump
Blink?
teleport? Blink.
No.
Do you
No.
ever use blink?
No.
I'm gonna have to close the window.
That's a mind trip.
I've tried it and just gotten like so mixed up as to where the hell I was at. It's like, nope, I'm done.
I know. Like if I watch Jay Overrated play Crucible and he is always using blink. That guy can jump, blink. He's turned around whenever he's out of his blink with his shotgun, and that person he was zeroing in on is dead. Or he can snipe after blinking. Jump, stops, snipe, gone. Me, I blink and it's like, what state am I in?
It's like waking up from a coma. Huh?
Nim is also crazy with a Warlock.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I see Joey or Nem play with Blink, and it's just like I don't even know what you guys did there.
It's them young
My mind
guys.
doesn't
I don't
work that
understand how that worked.
My mind
What
doesn't work
sorts of
that way.
sorcery is this?
Yeah.
That's why I'm a Titan. That's why I'm a Titan because it's just simple.
Man, when
Go there.
yeah, no, go there, go fast, run through whatever's in front of you. I mean, that's
Smash.
when I first started playing. I made a hunter, and then I made one of the others, and I didn't like the other jumps on either one of them, so I made 3 hunters because you could get loot from everything at the very first of D1, and then they switched it to where you only get loot on one of any duplicate character, and then after that the other 2 they're just SOL. So I was like, oh, fine, I'll make one of the other 2. I platinumed the game. I was like, man, I really hate Warlock. This guy's gone. He's gone. I just have 2 hunters and a Warlock at that point in time. Second hunter, what for? I have no idea. Anyway, Destiny 3 rolls out, and then I switch. I go with one of each.
When's Destiny 3 out?
Yeah.
Destiny 2. I go Destiny.
What?
I go Destiny 2, and I have one
When
of
did
each.
I miss
have
that?
all 3.
When did you blink into the future and play Destiny 3?
Let me tell you, guys. All right, let me tell you about the story. I'm sorry, I'm on the game.
So, I wanted to ask you, you talk about playing with your wife, and then you told us you were on PC. Do you play with your wife and your son at the same time? Do you guys do events together, or do you guys share a system? Like, what's your normal? I guess maybe like your normal fire team.
What your game time is now? What's your game like now?
I mean, we have a room that we set up just for gaming that we're both in now. We both have our own PCs, before we switched to PCs a couple years ago, we both had our own consoles. So while I was deep into playing Destiny, she plays Destiny as well, but she is much more of a complete gamer than I am and plays so many of the other harder things out there. And
what's that like?
I don't know.
Experiencing another game besides Destiny.
So you look over and she's like, I just platinumed Dark Souls on hard.
Yeah, that's
And
usually how it is. How
I
many
just got my
platinums do you
10th
have?
Better Devils.
Yeah. 53 platinums.
Nice.
On PlayStation
sounds like
alone,
a lot.
that's not counting all the ones now that she's done on Steam.
Wow.
I have 1 platinum, and that's Destiny 2. Because I just played this one game.
Like I said, Kevin, we got a lot in common.
He did mention that he's only played 3 other games on his PS4, and I'm curious to know what those other games are.
I have 18 platinums.
Ghost of Tsushima. Life is Strange. And oh yeah, I did play Andromeda Mass Effect Andromeda,
Mm-hmm.
and I did play a little bit of Fallout 4. I played a lot of Fallout 4.
It all goes together once you play Destiny. Like
Mm-hmm.
it just
Yeah, your
all
brain's,
the other stuff just
your
scoots
brain
right
kind
on
of
out.
rots. Oh Christ! All right, so
You get into new stuff.
what's that?
That's it. I'm just curious. What do you think about the new season?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Season that we have out.
I've been having quite a bit of fun with it. The design of everything is great. The story parts that are going on are really interesting. I'm not as huge of a fan of the seasonal activity this time compared to last season, but it's not too bad, and the loot that you get from it is fun. So we keep doing it.
The
What do you
last
think
season
of?
was diving into the Matrix. This season
Yeah.
is back to the Dreaming City and the Shattered Realm.
Yeah, the Shattered Realm part is fun. I think more of the thing that's frustrating me a little bit about it is that if you go back to last season, if you'd leveled up your season pass enough, you could go and do one override, and you'd have enough of that corrupted data or whatever it was called, that then you could go focus a tier 2 engram after a single run of override. But now if you want to focus a tier 2 engram, you have to go do like 3 strikes or 3 crucible matches and all that to get enough of that material.
Run around the Cosmodrome and go collect these little astral anchors, or, you know.
Yeah, but still, I mean, a tier 2 is 600 of whatever that currency is, and
Parallax or whatever.
the parallax trajectory, and so it takes a little longer when I've been really trying to see if I could grind out a specific roll of like the hand cannon or something like that.
But does that feel like
takes quite
a way of gatekeeping a little bit because we are in a delay for the next expansion and season?
I have wondered about that, if that it's like, hey, we don't want people to get everything that they want too quickly, so maybe we're gonna make it drag out a little bit.
Well, they did make the cost of everything more expensive. I mean, from your mods taking up more spaces to certain things taking up more glimmer. You know, certainly like that getting all that parallax trajectory. I mean, that's you know, to focus those. A lot of things become more expensive, so I mean, it makes you just either go visit Spider more or you got to grind it out.
Yeah, what are you gonna think whenever they retire Tangled Shore and we no longer have Spider for our easy materials?
Didn't I see somewhere that they're trying to smuggle him out though?
Maybe
I
a
said
stage drop that.
all that stuff goes to the Cryptarch. But the other thing too is that I've played this game enough. I can't remember the last time I ran into a problem with materials or consumables.
I have a real addiction to upgrading everything I get my hands on. So upgrade materials. I'm constantly getting, you know, material or glimmer pour because I'm buying upgrade materials just to move something up one point.
But Josh, you don't have 5,000 hours in the fucking game. I'll bet he spent more time just material hunting than you have actually playing.
I've got to have close to that.
Well, you just get materials just from playing, you know, just doing stuff.
However you set up your gun.
No, that I've hunted all that much. I remember the summer before Forsaken launched. I remember like that last month playing with some of the guys in my clan that we were just running around grabbing materials because we knew that that was going to be something that we were going to need in Forsaken. But that was the only time that I really remember really farming materials. Now if I see a chest or something like that while I'm going around doing stuff, I grab it, but I can't remember the last time I used the ghost mod that points them out to you.
Yeah.
More or something like that.
He's like, I got this shit memorized.
I'm careful with my upgrading. I usually don't upgrade things right away until they're like maybe 5 to 10 levels higher, or I try to upgrade one thing into the next thing. So like if I have a
Or
lower
at least
level,
if it's the same item, yeah. So it
yeah,
only
if it's the
costs
same
glimmer.
item, it only costs me 1,000 glimmer. So I have, I don't know how many stacks of enhancement cores. I have all the glow sticks, all the golf balls, and I just don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, whenever the golf
Not that
balls,
problem.
whenever they introduced the golf balls and the glow sticks, and you had all this additional economy, and you could only have so many of each, so it's not like you could stockpile a tremendous amount. And then it seriously became the point at which I would take everything to fully upgraded, like gear sets, fine, when it was just nothing but enhancement cores. Now they add these extra things that take so much, and it's like, I hate that economy so bad. I hardly ever fully max out a piece of gear.
Yeah, I remember when they introduced the enhancement cores, that it just seemed that they were so rare, and now it's just they drop everywhere. I dismantle a guy
They do
and
drop for
I
a
get
lot more.
something.
Mm-hmm.
So
People yelled about it. Well, what do you think about the season or the Festival of the Lost? You get much opportunity to play that yet?
I have gotten a little bit. I checked it out when it at reset today from at home just to see what was going on, see the new cosmetic things that they were offering, like the spider sparrow, and but got into a little bit tonight before we hopped on here and did a couple of the haunted lost sectors, which were fun, different.
You like that better than the forest?
Yeah, I was really looking forward to something different than Haunted Forest. At this point, I never really liked Haunted Forest all that much to begin with, and so having something different this time around.
Here's the one thing I don't like about about those lost sectors. I was a little worried because they didn't put much information out about it. You didn't get the trailer until the morning of. I was a little worried what it was going to be like, but I mean, I like the lost sector part. The only thing is that it's not as spooky as the forest was because it was like you go around a corner and it was so dark. Now I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I mean, it's like when you go to the club
They used to have that
and it's closing time and they turn the lights on and then you can see everything. That's the way that this lost sector is. I mean, that's the way I feel about it. It's just like it's closing time. You
Well,
can see
yeah, it's like
everything going on.
going through
It's not
going through a haunted house, and they turn the lights on. All of a sudden, it's like, well,
Yeah.
this guy did 1,000 times less
exactly. Now
Boop,
you
when
see
the
what
last
it looked like.
Boop, when the last time was you in a club?
I'm always up in the club. I mean, man, I just like every weekend
Just
now.
just a decade. Just was it the 2000s? Was it the 90s?
Yes. Oh yeah.
So, Kevin, since we're on the topic of lost sectors, what are your thoughts on how Bungie likes to hide the new exotics behind the lost sectors? Solo, by the way. You can't play with your friends to acquire them.
That first season, it was like, wow, this is a little harder because you had, of course, see all the other Destiny players that were really going out there and
Sweating it out,
grinding it out that first week, and I was just like, oh geez. But now with especially the level increase only being 10, it made it a lot easier to do those right away since I was max level the season before, and the amount of guides that people put out of sort of what shields you're dealing with, what type of enemies you gotta take down, how many champions there's gonna be, and stuff like that. Make it a lot easier.
Is there a go-to YouTuber that you go to for your guides, or do you just search out the first one you see?
I don't necessarily watch YouTube videos all that much. Is more I look to see if there's something posted to Twitter or something like that says what they are. I mean, there's the infographics that I'm sure a lot of us have seen either from Nearus or Kyber 3000. Looking at both of those sometimes, or what's that other one I've been following, Lost Sector Bot. Just tell me what the boss sector is that day, so I can go grind it out if I want to.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was a interesting activity to make people work for something. There's times I wish it wasn't as random, but for some people it has been. I think the longest I've ever been in there, I think it took me 20 or 21 clears to get the Titan chess piece last season.
But
I
it
think
was
that
worth it.
But most of the other ones, it's either first, second, or third run.
Yeah, it always seemed like my first character, the very first one I ever went after, for those that was hidden behind the lost sector, 30 clears before I got it. And then I jump on the second character, 2 clears to get it for that one. The third character, first clear, I get it. It's like, okay, I was really going to hate on you guys after that if I was going to have to go for 30 more clears on character 2 and 3, but...
Yeah, the only thing I'd say that I don't really like about it is that if you eventually get that new exotic and it's not a great roll, then your chances of getting it again are just a lot lower. And so, who knows how long it's going to take you. I don't know that I've ever gotten another of that Titan chess piece.
Yeah, I have not. That's one of them I've not gotten very many on. I get more helmets and gloves.
Doesn't it become a open world drop after you earn it?
Yeah, you can drop from any. But how often do you see that magical? You hear that magical sound and you see that yellow ball drop.
I got a lot of.
But it's just in the loot pool with everything else. So.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten a lot of stags over the time period. So, by the way, just so you guys know, I dropped a link to Time Wasted on Destiny if you want to check out how many hours you have. It's in the comments, so you guys can look it up.
All right, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna find out mine right now.
Yeah, look mine up.
Are you spelled the same way in just Mr. Boop Cannon?
Yeah.
All right, because I'm at 937 hours.
So, Kevin, are you more into the story and the lore? Are you a lore hound on the in Destiny? Are you more about the gameplay and the
I'd say I'm more about the gameplay, but I don't ignore the lore. I like that there's the story that goes along with it. I like that there's things in the game that I get to experience with it rather than having to go read through lore books to see something or learn something. So having those moments in the game, whether they be the cut scenes that they've added, those neat animation scenes that they do every now and then, or even sometimes if it's just the little parts where they have the character talking to you through the little radio thing or whatever it's called, and they just have the voice actor doing it. That's made, I think, the lore experience of Destiny a lot better for me.
I agree with that a lot. I actually like the I'd have to say I'm halfway into the and understanding all of the story, because there are people out there that know to the nth degree, obviously, but I might know enough to be not dangerous, but you start developing your own theories. Have you developed your own theories yet?
I don't know that I know enough to start developing my own theories, because there's so many things too that tie back to Destiny 1 that I don't know a whole lot about. That those are things that sometimes I have to go ask some of my friends, like, hey, you gotta explain this to me. Like, I remember whenever that season was that it was all about the Rasputin and Fellwinter and stuff like that. I didn't understand a lot of that, of what happened in Rise of Iron, because I didn't really play that game too much. So I had to go back and get some other people to inform me as to what was going on. So I can't say that I can really start making up my own theories.
And if I go back to Destiny 1, think about the Books of Sorrow, I glazed over those things. I read them, but I didn't, really spend any mental fortitude to try and figure out what they were trying to say.
I think that's the one thing. I think when Destiny 1 came out, it was so different in its release than what was originally intended, and wasn't intended to be, broken up into the Grimoire cards and all that was supposed to be. You collect all the calcified fragments to get the lore, and but I think it ended up being somewhat of a happy accident. I mean, it created a lore community, and that community just expanded.
Thank God for Bife and Mylan.
Oh my God! Yeah, because I had no idea how they put things together.
But at least, let's go back to Destiny 1. At least with the Grimoire cards, you got something tangible you could look at. Pull it up, and if nothing else, whether it's a story on the front of the card, flip it over, and it says, "This is how many of this enemy you have killed." That was nice. A little bit of a tracker with it. We don't have the Grimoire cards anymore. We just have, triumphs and
lore books.
Lore books, which is nice if you want to go through and read it, but doesn't say, "Oh, guess what? You have destroyed, 10 million thrall, by the way, at this point."
Josh, this is where I got to teach you about this thing that you should know about called API, and you can pull that crap right off the internet. Really easy. I don't know, that website that I just linked called Time Wasted on Destiny just will hook in and tell you everything you want to know about what you killed.
Yeah.
So, Boop, you want to know how much time you've wasted in Destiny?
Yeah, tell me. What do I got?
You want D1 or D2 first?
Give me D1.
2744.
That's respectable.
So
what's D2? Here?
Another 1,000 hours on top of that, so 3711.
Oh, I gotta catch up with Kevin.
Yeah, Josh is on pace with him. Josh is just 1 week behind him.
But Josh just sits in orbit.
I know. There was another one. There was another website at one point in time where it would literally show you how much orbit time you had. I think it's Destiny Tracker shows you how much orbit time you've got. And I was like triple platinum or whatever. I was top of the leaderboards with orbit time.
I want to know how much time Kevin's got in the entire game. That's what I want to know.
I can't remember exactly that, but I do have. There's something in Braytech that I think told me the number of times I'd completed the Triumph, but I'm not sure that it's totally correct because I saw some weird numbers with it one of the last times I looked.
Well, what did it say? Is it weird because you just didn't want to believe it?
Was
it so far?
It was that I looked at it when I was gonna help somebody with it, so I looked to see how many that I had done, and then after we'd completed it, I looked at it again and it went up by 4. And so I'm not sure
You'd
how.
only done it once.
Again, maybe it was the people watching you.
Yeah, I don't know if that counts towards it too. That
How many you shepherd through?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you should check the how many times you died in a lost sector from that email that got sent out by Bungie. I think I was in the 734. I think after today it had gone up to 800 something.
Is that the email that went out today?
Yeah. Yeah, the email that went out today that tells you how many times you've died in lost sectors.
Really?
Okay. I gotta look. Yeah, I know. Here I am man, you really should read your emails, Josh.
698.
I didn't get an email, so.
it's a. Sorry, you've not played
check
enough.
Spam folder.
Oh no, there's no spam folder on this. Everything comes to the inbox. But that being said, I hate the lost sectors. And I don't mean that in the sense of, oh my god, I can't believe they're in the game or anything. I suck at lost sectors. So I probably legitimately have been in 20 or 30 of them over the entire time of the game.
We can carry you.
I'll tell you the ones that I.
Josh has played with
me.
me.
The ones that I didn't like. was back during year one where they had the faction rally
Yes.
things of doing
Oh,
the lost sectors,
that
so
was the
you could
worst.
get like the the catalyst for Graviton Lance and the catalyst for Sunshot and Sweet Business and the ornament for Eyes of Another World and things like that. I remember just running that lost sector on Titan over and over
See,
and over
mm,
until I was blue in the
you,
face,
he had to
just
mention Titan.
just so I could
I love Titan.
get that thing done.
Hated Titan.
Spent so much of my time on Titan. I loved it.
Me too, unfortunately. I hated Titan.
Did you, Boop, did you ever try and figure out if there was a way to kill that Leviathan that's swimming through the water?
No.
We all try to
know.
figure that thing
Yeah,
out.
I know.
Did you guys know that those are donuts?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I'd seen
what?
I'd seen some behind the footage.
Oh,
behind
we need.
the scenes.
we
There's actually
need-
nothing to it.
We need
Yeah,
to know.
they're three donuts that are just spinning there. It's not like a monster shape or something like that. They're three
No, but
donuts that are
you do see
under
like
the
a
water.
head
No.
pop up every now and then. So one of the three.
No, because you see the that worm that or whatever swims when you're underneath, and you see something swimming by. That's not a donut.
No, but the way that it's actually modeled and put in the game is three.
Oh, you're talking
Donut
about how they.
shapes.
The ones on the top of the
Oh,
water. Yeah.
I was gonna say because if there's donuts, I'm diving in. There's gonna be some Titan donuts.
Hey Homer, I can see your little.
Fucking Cran, I need a donut.
I'm diving into methane, liquid fart.
What? Really?
What's your glitch, Josh?
What's that?
What's wrong?
So, Kevin, what do you think about the Destiny content vault? What's your opinion on that? It's a hot topic.
the
right
only
now.
the only way
Yeah.
you can ask this question is then ask the guy with 5,000 hours. What do you think about vault space?
Yeah. Hey Kevin, how much do you hate the Destiny content? Kind of a leaning question.
So yeah, if I go back to like before they did the first vaulting of content, I really liked playing Leviathan and Eater of Worlds and Inspire of Stars, but nobody else did. I mean, nobody else. People are only playing the new content, and so I just don't think that people getting upset over content that they probably aren't playing anyway. The only misstep I think with this one is that they should have made Forsaken free to play when they launched Beyond Light, so people had an entire year to go do Forsaken content and things like that, rather than saying, "Hey, we're gonna give it to you free now, and it's gonna be gone in a few months."
Well, so kind of take a look at what we've kind of lost over the last year with Beyond Light. When they changed it up and we no longer had. By the way, Crafty Max says, "What's up, Kevin?" When we had daily story missions, we had a handful to pick from, and yeah, it was replaying old story missions that we had.
Yeah, remember those story missions? Remember those things that the daily meditations, whatever you'd get from Ikora? Nobody was doing those.
Oh, I did every time.
You're
every
right.
time.
I forgot about them.
Oh no, I did every time. I would do those over running because I think they all counted towards your Vanguard goals or whatnot. I would do those instead of strikes because those were more to me. I was like, oh yeah, I played this one because I get to hear all after he died. I played that every single time it was on. The one where you had to go rescue Cade from on Nessus.
Yeah.
I played that every freaking time. I mean, there were others that I
some of those are pretty fun, but I think we all got to remember that this being an online game, that Bungie has more data on how this game is being played than any of us can ever.
Oh, I'm not mad that they're gone, but I'm just saying.
Look at this and say, hardly anybody's playing this.
Yeah, I'm not upset that they're gone, but I'm just saying I would play them. In fact, the one thing that probably irritates me more than anything is when they add an area to a game that's only available in a story mode. Like when you're in the EDZ and you had to go for that first Osiris mission where you went past like the little area where, like, if you're running in the strike, you can actually still get to that area.
Devil's Lair, as you go to the back of it.
Well,
right?
no. When you're running the Taken one, you know, where you have to go to the dam and kill that strike. Where you break off to the back end and you can go to that place where you first found Sagira's ghost and revived it. You can still go back there during that strike, but that's the only time you, like, wandering through the random world, that's walled off. And to me, it's such a beautiful area. It was really cool. Why not just leave it open where, you know, maybe there's not a damn enemy out there. Who cares? Just go run out there and explore it if you really feel so inclined, since it's still there. You know, I hate that it is locked off if you're not in that story mission.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, and I think for people playing on PC, that, you know, we're lucky that we have maybe a little more storage freedom than somebody that might still be playing on a last generation console, that they want to be able to install more than one game at a time.
Oh, he just low-key threw a lot of shade at consoles without meaning to.
Well, I mean, I played on console up until about 2 years ago. I have an Xbox downstairs that I bought for couch gaming that I play Destiny on. We have a PS5 up here that I use every now and then, but your upgrade options on those are a little different than my PC. It's pretty easy for me to add another 500 gigabytes to my PC, not so much on my old PS4.
So everybody that's watching or will hear this later is going to go, how the fuck did you get a PS5?
I did the PlayStation Direct one. I follow some of those Twitter accounts that tweet every time one of these sales go up, and did the PlayStation Direct one where you get in a queue and then they randomly put people in order, and when they opened it up I was 20th in line or something like that, and I lucked out.
Fair enough. Alright. Boop, what else do we got question wise? Anything else you need to know?
Nothing I can think of in terms of Destiny.
Josh?
Nope. In fact, had work ping me. I gotta answer it. I am real quick.
All right. So, Kevin, as we start to wind things down, we end every show with kind of 5 questions, and when we do them, you're not 100% forced to give an answer, but it is highly suggested that you answer these questions, or we do send the hit squad out to get you.
Oh.
So, okay?
All right.
So, first question. What is your favorite food, bud?
My favorite food?
Mm-hmm. If your wife's not there, the kids aren't there, you got a guy-only weekend, you know, what are you making?
We don't have kids. We only have dogs. But pizza.
Those are kids.
Pizza, definitely.
What's on that pizza?
Pepperoni and pineapple.
Nice.
I'll
sign off on that.
That's a unique combo.
Yep.
I have this theory that people that don't like pineapple on pizza have only had it with Canadian bacon, and it's the Canadian bacon part that makes that not so great, and the combination of a spicy pepperoni and a tart pineapple is a lot
To
better.
be fair, Canadian bacon is ham.
I like it.
Okay.
And I've had some, I've known some people up in Canada that were like, dude, that's ham. Why do you guys just throwing shade at us calling it Canadian bacon? Because we have bacon up here. You know that, don't you?
So I have a theory that people that haven't had pineapple on their pizza have scurvy. Boop, I think we lost you again.
What?
There you go. You're back.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
All right,
I'm here.
Kevin, what's your favorite drink, alcoholic and non-alcoholic?
I don't drink alcoholic drinks anymore.
Okay. What was your go-to?
I live here in Colorado. There's a lot of, pretty much the capital of, or the start of so many microbrews. So there's a lot of
right.
I mean,
good,
and, Coors is there too, so don't forget about those fuckers.
Yeah, but like the New Belgium stuff was really coming out like right when I turned 21. So
Joe's blueberry beer, or
the Fat Tire is probably one of my favorites. There's a couple other local places that have some good things. As far as other drinks, the Silver Rockstar I like as far as an energy drink goes, and colas mostly.
All right, Josh,
I know regular Rockstar always tasted like cat pee to me.
I could do the next one.
Josh, when have you sampled cat pee?
It just smells like it, so you imagine that's what it tastes.
Yellow snow. Watch out.
All right. Well, either one of you two, you can ask.
All right, got it.
Go for it, Boot.
If you could have anyone voice your ghost, who would it be?
It would be my friend Epuds.
Epuds. All right.
We need a.
Epuds on Twitter.
I need sampling of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Does he
have
YouTube?
An accent? Does he have a deep, gravelly?
No, he's got a nice, cool New Zealand accent.
Nice.
Fair enough.
Right.
New Zealand.
All right.
Accent, yeah. Anything other than just flat out American.
Anything besides my voice.
Like, how generic American here? Oh, this sucks.
How weird would it be to hear your voice coming out of your ghost?
That'd be creepy.
Or like if when you first sign into Destiny, it has you read into your mic like
a phonic script.
A phonic script, and then it makes it samples your character's voice, not necessarily your ghost, but your character's voice after your own.
I mean, that's probably not that far away, right? With all the things that are out there of being able to do like the deep fake video and audio type stuff.
Do you ever watch Corridor Crew? They do have the best deep fake YouTube videos. They're hilarious. They had a guy come into their deal and look like Tom Cruise, They just totally.
Well, I already put my face on everything that I have, so I mean, I just put my voice on top of it, and that would just be, God,
just boobs everywhere.
That would be heaven. God, I'd lose all my friends. All two of them.
You go say, hey, we're gonna watch. We're gonna go watch the new Terminator, and then Boop comes.
Yeah, it's my face the whole time.
And it's not even Schwarzenegger. It's like
Last
I'll
Action
be back.
Hero. Yeah.
I'll be back. It's like I'll be back.
Do old Rambo, put it in my face.
I'll be right back, guys.
All right. So Kevin, tell us about a time you've been embarrassed on the internet.
Time that I've been embarrassed on the internet.
And we know he's been on the internet.
Yeah, we know you have. I mean,
because I am Kevin from the internet.
Yes, exactly. It's a hard one.
Yeah.
From Reseda.
Yeah.
I'll give you a quick example of one that I thought of the other day without doing, and then maybe this will waken a memory for you. I won't name the name, but I was on a fairly big time streamer's stream playing. We were playing a strike, and everybody on the team died except for me, and I'm running around trying to get reses, and that stupid Cabal. I think it's a grenade, but it kind of looks like a knife that gets stuck into your body, and then it's like 3, 2, 1, and then you explode. I happen trying to get a res. As that thing explodes, my computer DC from the game on a, like I said, very well known streamer's stream, as we were 1,000 people are watching. Boom, like, okay, you suck so bad that you didn't get killed, Then, as you're trying to get a res, you get grenaded. And as that grenade goes off, your PC sucks so bad. Being a guy who builds PCs, you got booted out of the game.
I would take that to the next level. I'd be like, if I were on the team and I watch as that grenade explodes, you just disappear, I'd be like, the ball did it.
He deleted him.
He got him. He got him completely. Ain't anything left. The ghost is gone.
The best part of that whole story, though, is the guy who was the streamer is watching, and you can track that grenade from off screen. Hit my character in the leg, and I'm standing there busily trying to get that res, and then you just see on the stream disconnected.
All right, so the one that I'm thinking about happened pretty recently. It was that first weekend that the new version of Trials came back. And I had played, I guess it was like Saturday afternoon with a guy in my clan and another friend of ours. And we just teamed up and we went to the lighthouse on that run. And that was like the first time that all three of us had done a flawless card. And so that was great. But then like the next day, like Sunday or something like that, it was just like this brick wall for me that I was hitting, that I was struggling to get past like game 1 or 2. And so I was hanging out in a guy's stream that I know, and like he and a friend were doing lighthouse carries, and I was waiting for another friend of mine that was also there, because he's like, yeah, I'm over in this guy's stream seeing if I can win a raffle, and if I don't win, well, then then we can play Trials. So I went in over there and I entered the raffle too, and then I won. And so these two guys that are way more better PvP players and Trials players than I am, we go in there, and my brick wall has now extended to them too, and we're just having problems all over the place, to where finally they're just like, all right, you know what, we're done, and they just turn their computers off.
Oh, that. Yeah, I know those feels.
See, I've had the opposite experience where, I've entered a raffle. I've got to join up with two guys, and literally I go into Trials, by myself or with a couple people that I know that are, let's say they're the same or worse skills than I am. I'm frustrated within the first 2 seconds of dropping in Trials. I'm angry. I'm cussing. It's a terrible experience for everybody. But the second that I jump in with a couple of guys who are, they're pros at this, I'm just like, I'm chill, I'm relaxed. Like, this is the best time. I'm still the first one to die, but I'm happy. This is like, because they're winning every round anyway. And I know, I don't kid myself. I know in my head that they're just like, this guy's not making it easy. Whew. But I'm having a good time.
And there's another one that was similar to that I won another raffle on this other stream, but it was on this was before we had crossplay and all that, and they were on console. I was like, great, I won a raffle for Trials, except it'd been like 6 months before I turned my PS4 on, so I turn it on and quickly have to go through various system updates and Destiny updates, and they're waiting for me for like
download. Oh my god,
10 or 15 minutes before I can finally jump in with them. And they're like,
that's
can
fast.
you be here soon?
Yeah, that's honestly the best thing about being on PC, is not waiting for the PS4 or PS5 to download and prepare to download and then prepare to install and then copy and then and then install and then realize it needs another fucking update and go get that one too. It's like, God.
The weirdest thing, which I'm glad they kind of got rid of, but it was where you had to update the game outside of the game, and then you sign in, and upon signing in, there's another little counter. It's like, oh, by the way, one more little piece.
Days, man.
And then it was like, now waiting your turn in the queue.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the worst part now. You watch it go from like 65 up to like 69,000,
Yeah.
back to 14,000. You're like, I'm almost in.
Not going
Yeah,
anywhere
then-
for a while. This is
Then your
second
number
sport.
goes backwards.
Yeah, that's the way it was today. It was pretty crazy. It's like
Yep.
everybody's in the club, but today trying to get Halloweeny.
Was there a queue to get in today?
A little bit. At least
Okay.
it was for me, yeah.
Okay. To be fair, I never even tried. I was busy fixing a washing machine all day. So, all right, Josh, you got the last question, or do you want me to do it?
What is your favorite curse word?
My favorite curse word.
Yep.
What
It
curse
can
word
be
are-
one of it can be
Hey,
one of the
this is mine.
standards, or you can be creative.
We gotta ask her.
I don't. Yeah, I think I cuss more than I actually do. Because outside of playing video games, I think I rarely do. I think I probably do more when I'm playing games.
It sounds like Josh.
Oh. What's
And I
up,
think
Mike?
mostly because I'm joking about it. My wife is saying you say mother trucker more than anything else.
See, that works.
There you go.
It's like when my kids were in the house.
That's
I would go.
wholesome. I like
I
it.
mean, I would.
But there's
I
a
would-
lot more times that I'm being like, oh, they're fucker, just.
Yeah. See,
Oh,
there it
we
is.
got it on camera.
Yeah. See, whenever
There you
my
go.
kids were younger, when they were in the house, I was very quick to be able to censor myself and not yell, sugar instead of shit.
My
That's
wife,
like
on the
a-
other hand, is a much more prolific swearer than I am.
All right, so as
Well, what's
She's
her
laughing
favorite?
about it
What's
now.
her favorite then?
I'm not gonna repeat her favorite words.
Oh no!
No.
You should
No,
have her
that's-
poke her face in on camera.
Yeah, have her
give us
come
that
over and
answer.
tell us.
Yeah,
But-
we need her to
But
say.
because we're gaming here in the same room, there's sometimes that like I got my headset on, I'm in a party chat with friends doing a raid or something like that, and she's over there doing this ultra hard content, and it's just all coming through the mic, and everybody else is like, what is going on over there? Because
Did she
Yeah.
kill someone? Are we accomplices? Are we witnesses to a murder?
Is there something we should know about you guys? So,
she's over there laughing about it right now.
so
My
ask
wife
the
and
ask the
kids.
wife what's their favorite.
Yeah.
What's your
Have her
favorite curse
poke
word?
her face in on camera and game tell her her favorite.
I'm not gonna be able to convince her to do that.
Usually starts with motherfucker.
It
Like
starts
it.
with motherfucker.
It starts with motherfucker and
It's
goes
a
up from there.
It's a trade.
It's a phrase. It's a phrase. We got
Yeah.
It's
And we're
not
talking about an
Great.
exponential curve.
it's
here,
not a
like-
word, it's a paragraph.
motherfucker, and then it just ramps up. That's like
She's like, then it
starting with
gets-
a lawnmower.
Then it gets dirty.
Motherfucker. Yeah, that's great.
All right.
It starts with.
Yeah, so
It's like back whenever I was working at Coca-Cola, one of my bosses was having such a difficult time with this one client who had called in, and he was getting so worked up, and he's keeping it together. And I mean, the second he gets off, that guy is like ends the phone call, he slams it down and just like, that motherfucker needs to die. Like, oh man.
I say that daily.
I say that like hourly. I don't know. It's like,
I say it in trials a lot.
No, my wife and kids still give me a hard time because I was playing Final Fantasy 15 and I was doing this one dungeon, and you're fighting against this boss who, if you can't change anything, it's kind of like a lock loadout once you go in, but you have to go down several, like 50 levels to get down to the final boss. You can't use any heals, any items along the way. You just maintain and really play it hard. And I get down to the final boss, and this final boss has this mechanic I didn't know about. It turn you into a frog, and then you literally can't do anything. You gotta dodge until, and hopefully not get hit too much. So when the spell wears off, you can actually do damage. And literally the second I would come out of a frog, like boom, cast it right again, and I'm like. And they give me such a hard time because I'm in the other room. They're all in there just laughing their heads off because you turned me into a fucking frog again. You know, and I'm sitting there yelling this out there. Like I said, that's been several years ago, and they still give me a hard time about that one.
Your kids still walk by you every once in a while and just go frog?
No, they go. She turned me into a. They'll say it. She turned me into a fucking frog. And they're all adults now.
I just
Probably
thought.
not
I thought of another time that it was embarrassing, only because Guardians MH is in the chat and they're hollering at Boop. But we were doing the stream a couple years ago, and if I don't know, Boop, you probably remember this. JD, I don't know if you would or not. It was Rick and I, and we had Cole and Green on with us, and we were doing different levels and whatever, and I was the guy playing and hosting the stream. And so the way that it used to be, I used to have to run 2 computers, and again, this is 3-4 years ago. Now I can do it off of just one. But I was streaming, everything was going good. We got to about the midway of our stream, and all of a sudden my character just went away. My gaming PC blue screened in the middle of the fucking charity stream. So the stream was able to keep going, but my gaming PC actually overheated and blue screened.
Oh, no.
So everybody's looking around like, where'd he go? And I'm like, I'm still here, but nobody can see me or hear me, but the stream's still live. So, yeah, that was a fun time. Right in the middle of a charity stream. So, yeah. So, yeah, Josh, you'll appreciate this. The old CPU just literally overheated and conked out.
Yeah.
So, yep. So, anyways, we got any more questions?
Where do we find you, Kevin?
On the
Kevin,
internet.
Yes, on the internet.
On the internet. There we go.
Kevin OSX on Twitter. I don't
So,
really do things anywhere else.
So yeah, one quick question regarding that. Since you are someone who does help out others with raids and with content that you were in those shoes at one point in time, so you like to help others who are kind of in that point of frustration. Do you do like an advertised help other people, or do they you're just the random hero that jumps in LFG still?
I'm more the person that just sort of randomly helps out. And like I know that you had Sarah on a couple weeks ago, and I've had the pleasure of running a raid with her and her clan recently, and they're great with the amount of help that they do.
Would you ever join up with a group like that and perform, help others on a more consistent basis, or?
I do every now and then, but I'm also trying to help out the other members of my clan as well. So I'm being one of the more active members.
He's like, motherfucker, I can only spend so much time in Destiny.
I end up, getting to a higher power level sometimes than others. So like this week, recruiting a few others to help people go and get a time lost Fatebringer that didn't get around to doing it last season.
So basically, I haven't done any of the power. I haven't done any of the master raid on that. So basically, what we're trying to offer here for you is we can be your bookies, if you would like, and we will set up your
for only 25%.
Yeah, just 20%. Let's see, nothing into nothing. Carry the one.
I'm unfortunately, I'd say that I'm maybe a little too busy to be planning out stuff like that. So I just
it's okay. We'll plan it for you. We'll just send them your way
to help out here and there where I can.
No, that's cool. Man.
It's always fun to see and hear somebody experience some parts of Destiny for their first time. So hearing somebody, voice when they clear a raid for the first time, or they enter an environment that they've never seen before that looks really neat, or getting that weapon that they've heard about but they've never gotten before, like getting your first Vexsmith class or something like that. Like I still remember it, one time back when I used to still do Leviathans, this kid that was in our fire team and getting him finally getting the Sins of the Past rocket launcher, and he was so excited about that. And
that was a good one.
And that's just one of the, I think the magical parts of this game that I don't know exist that many other places is, having those shared experiences with other people when they're getting that thing or experiencing that thing for the first time.
Yeah, I do think Bungie has the right blend of, like, when it comes to their exotics, places you can get them, like the Lost Sectors. But, when one drops out in the wild, you kill something random. And sometimes it can just be a red bar. And it drops so few and far between, but they do drop. It's not like a mythological beast you'll never really see. But when they do drop, you hear that sound and you see it, it hit on the ground. I mean, there is an excitement. Even if you have every exotic in the game, it's only going to be armor, but it's possibly a better roll on something, it's still just like, what was that?
But I do understand what you're saying, Kevin. I mean, because, whatever opinions may vary, like that first weekend of the renewed trials, where people were just carrying other people left and right that had never been flawless before, and taking them, and you'd see Twitter just blowing up like crazy, with everybody posting that this was their first time ever going flawless. There's for those people that were carrying, it was a pretty grand experience for them to be able to take through maybe like 10, 15 more people to flawless,
So I'd had a couple friends of mine carry me to the lighthouse a couple times before, but this time it was me and two other guys that we just decided, hey, let's go try a card and see what happens. And I'm going to remember that way more than that time that I got carried by someone where I almost didn't even really have to contribute.
So, Boop, I'm going to read you this tweet because this happened previous to us asking you to come on and fill in as a guest host. And before we contacted you, because, I asked Molly today, if she was going to be on, because I knew she just got back from her long visit with her kid and everything. And she was like, she's got to work. And so she was like, no, I'm not going to make it. So we had reached out to Sarah Vixen, who was on a couple weeks ago, and asked her if she wanted to come sit in because, having four dudes on a podcast sometimes can be a little stale. So we were thinking maybe having, a lady might be the way to go. But her response to me was, I wish I could. An autistic young man was treated very poorly during a raid on LFG. We have him set up tonight for, to give him a better time and hopefully a vax. Not sure how long it would take, and then she goes into, some other things. So that's when we reached out to you, but that's the kind of thing, like what Kevin is talking about. This is the kind of thing that it's like, to give that young man, an autistic kid, and you don't know how far he is on the spectrum or whatever, but he was treated extremely rough. And and we met Sarah, and that girl's a trip, and she goofy as hell, but she's going to give that man, the time of his life in Destiny tonight. They probably already done, and I'd love to hear how it turned out, but that kid probably did get a vax. He's probably sitting there, just over the moon, and it's like, those moments are so few and far between, but that's one of the things that makes Destiny wonderful is that they're actually there. Because
I really don't know that there's another game out there where you have that shared experience. Because I even think back back in year one, like I had said earlier, I didn't really know anybody else to play with. It was usually my wife and I getting together Tuesday nights. We'd hop on and do sort of the reset stuff of whatever the flashpoint activity was for that week, and going and doing bunches of lost sectors and do the 3 crucible matches and stuff like that. But like, I didn't know how to do nightfalls. That was back when the nightfalls still had like the timer, and remember they had those things like you had to either go through the hoops or shoot those anomaly things to extend the timer. And I couldn't do those, but I remember one time I did that guided games a feature that they had, and that's how I got my first Nightfall clear done. And I just remembered sort of feeling this rush after getting it done. Like, wow, there's more to this game than I know about.
And guided games is such a great idea and so poorly implemented. Holy shit! You want to talk about screwing the pooch?
Well, I think the worst problem was they were trying to protect, the guided person from having a horrible experience, so that if, let's say, you couldn't boot a person, I think, if I'm not mistaken, if they quit out on you, it affected them negatively.
Mm-hmm.
So, if they should get into a guided game with someone who just really has horrible internet lag, whatever the issue is that's causing this raid to go on for hours.
Isn't there some other part where, as the guides, you all have to be part of the same clan?
Yeah. So it was basically.
So I think that probably caused some issues too. Is that I know plenty of people that are sort of interested in doing that, but maybe they aren't all in the same clan, and so that means
because clans are kind of worthless at this point anyway. Either the only thing a clan does for me is make me go see Hawthorne every so often. I could give a shit about her.
I think there's a lot of us out there who are solo players in a clan for the additional loot you get.
Well, so I was in my PlayStation clan before. When Shadowkeep had come out that summer, my wife and I decided that we were gonna get PCs for the first time. That we figured that we were play games enough that maybe it was time to move up to playing on a PC. And so I ended up leaving that clan and joining another. But now with that, we actually have real crossplay going on. I was able to bring those players that I played with from that clan into the clan that I play with now. Now we have a bigger community, and it's easier for everybody to. Somebody wants to do a dungeon or a raid or something like that. There's more people around that are actively playing, that people don't feel left out or like not being able to do something, or unfortunately having to go to LFG and hope that you don't end up with a bad experience there.
Yeah, I could say that crossplay really did help a lot with the clans, because our clan went from the Xbox side to, because there was a huge PC side to my clan, and now you just see everybody on, and it's pretty impressive now.
Yeah, once they added in the voice chat part, that was great. I mean, getting to jump in and play this game that I like with friends that I haven't really been able to play with for the last year or so, and there were times that I go back and play with them on my PS4, and after playing on PC, that was hard. Like going back and trying to do Garden of Salvation on my PS4 and getting 10 frames a second on the boss fight or something like that was just hard. And I was getting more used to playing on mouse and keyboard too instead of a controller. Now when I go back and play on controller, I feel like I'm
just did you ever have physical effects from it, like getting headaches from going to a lower frame rate, or feeling disoriented going to a higher frame rate?
Yeah, you got dizzy once, right, Josh?
When I first switched from PS4 to PS5, and the frame rate jumped exponentially, it was disorienting at first.
Yeah.
You play for like 10 minutes, you're just like, man.
Especially getting on the Sparrow. Yeah. Getting on the Sparrow was the biggest trip.
Yeah.
Because then the whole world went like, oh my god, this is like, that's crazy. Yeah, but Kevin, if you mentioned now with the crossplay and getting if you were able to play with somebody out there in the community you haven't played with, who would that be?
Play with somebody out there that I haven't played with, that I know out there. Yeah, there's a guy that we talk every now and then and joke back and forth, and I know that there's like an important anniversary for him coming up, but it's probably Protheon, because he's got the tank anniversary comes up next month.
poor guy. I've known him for a while. Boy, that was a defining moment in his career with that tank post.
What's the tank?
Yeah, well, what happened is that he made a post one time, and he's just like, "Oh my God, they put a tank in the in what is that Cabal
Inverted Spire.
Inverted Spire," and he was just like, "I can't believe they put it in there," and they were like, and then people were like, "It's been there for like 2 years." And
it's extremely rare.
And he went, and that went so viral. I mean, because emulating Protheon, other than when he was like 3 times too big, that went so viral, and that's like, he still can't live that down. So I believe he's going to be on this show at some point, and and that's going to come up.
It's gonna be like, hey, by the way,
that's gonna come up.
Did you know there's a tank in the Inverted Spire? And also,
he's a super nice guy. He also recently got hired to be, I think, the social media manager for the game that Poorly Timed Games is putting out, which I'm not remembering the name of right now.
And Destiny Tracker, I believe, as well.
Yeah, he works with Destiny Tracker as well. So.
Yep.
Yep. We were just chatting about that earlier today. So, all right. Good Lord, it's 10:45 Eastern. We've been doing this for an hour and 45 minutes.
That's right.
So, any final thoughts, parting thoughts, Kevin, before we call it a night?
Just remind everybody to be nice to each other. This is a game that we're all fortunate enough to be able to play, and it's, think back to when I first played my first video games of, whether it being like a Pong or something like that, or I remember my dad bringing home a ColecoVision console that he worked on as a semiconductor engineer and stuff like that. But that now we have this magic of video games that look as cool as they do, as they're immersive as they are, that you get to play it with people that are either, like my wife's sitting right next to me, or friends that live halfway around the world. That this is something that we shouldn't necessarily take for granted, and we should be.
I mean, you can look at it one of two ways.
Thankful for the relationships that we have with them.
You can look at it one of two ways. You're either playing with your wife, who's right next to you, or she's all the way around the world, made it back, not just halfway.
Wow. Okay. I think even the wife went, "What?"
That was deep. That was deep, man.
Because halfway around the world is on the opposite side. All the way around is right next to you.
Well, when I was in my PlayStation clan, we had a few players that lived in Hawaii, and we had some other players that lived as far east as the Netherlands, which is a total of 12-hour difference. And so us trying to get together to do things, it'd be like, hey, there's like an hour in here that we can get together and do a raid or something like that before it's too late for the guy in the Netherlands to get off, but early enough for the guy in Hawaii to do some things before he has to start taking care of dinner.
Yeah, I remember jumping into an LFG group one time. All 5 of the other guys in the raid were all over from, I think it was from, like the Netherlands and Amsterdam, whatnot. They're all speaking Dutch. I'm the only guy in here, like, right when we first start off, I'm like, hey, just let me know what you want me to do every so often, okay, guys? Because I'm not picking up anything else. And by halfway through the first encounter, they were all speaking broken English rather than language, and I was like, this is cool. I kind of feel bad that they have to dumb it down for me, but
the dumb American versus the one person willing to be Dutch.
Yeah, but I mean, it was also cool whenever they get to chatting with each other, and then when they would fade from their own language to American, they get to really slamming each other. It's like, oh man, what are you doing over there again? You're shit at the game. Oh, shit at the I'm not shit at the game, man. He goes, you just weren't protecting me. You didn't kill your Minotaur, man.
Awesome. All right. So, I think on that note, since we're calling people shit at the game, it's time to go. Boop, any final thoughts?
No. I'm happy to be here.
Josh, final thoughts?
Nope, I'm good. Go raid some haunted lost sectors.
You should know the answer to this question, Boop. Or is it next week? Do you know who we have on?
I didn't get next week. I know who we have the week after.
What's the guy's name, Josh? From
Rooster Teeth. BD Teach. BD. I gotta look up the actual Twitch handle again. A Rooster Teeth guy.
BDTEEJ. Whatever that means. Yeah, that's next week. So 9 o'clock again, same time, same place, all that bullshit.
Red V Blue.
What's that?
We got one of the Red V Blue boys.
Yep. So all right. So if nobody else has anything, I guess we're gonna call tonight because I'm sitting here dying next to these 2 servers and 3 PCs that are running.
Getting hot, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. All right, everybody.
Good talking with you.
Yeah, Kevin, it was nice meeting you. Hang
Thank
around.
you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yep. Hang around after the show. We'll chat for a bit before we call tonight.
Great conversation.
Yep. Good night, everybody.